Shadow of the Erdtree is a massive DLC that increases the difficulty by a large margin. But what if we decide to take the hardest boss from the base game, Maleina, and put her inside the Lands of Shadow? What if Maleina kept searching for Miquella? Can I beat Shadows of the Erdtree as Maleina? Our journey begins after defeating Mohg and collapsing due to the battle. When we wake up, we see a woman next to Miquella's hand. We approach her and ask what she's doing here.
I'm Leda, and like you, I was guided by faith along his honorable path. Touch the withered arm, and you too will be transported to the realm of shadow where Miquella the Kind now dwells. My compatriots are there already. Like us, they have heard kindly Miquella's call. If you can find them, they are certain to lend you aid. Come now, touch the withered arm, and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
We touch the withered arm, and we are teleported to the realm of shadow. This is unmarked territory, and if we are not careful with our planning, we will not have a chance of reaching Miquella. As a side note, since I'm wearing Maleina's arm set, and because this is what everyone should be doing in the DLC, I will be collecting as much fragments as I can. Most of these will be off screen, so it doesn't affect the story. Upon reaching a small destroyed village, we see lots of people outside. Trying to keep our composure, we go ahead and try to ask them about Miquella. However, one person in particular decides that he is not happy and decides to hit me, which was not the best choice for him, because with him, along with his friends, get blended into a nice smoothie. After blending the whole town, we go ahead and deal with a fire golem. These things are absolutely cool in my opinion, and I'm still having issues trying to figure out how to deal with the other variation of them. But after we defeat this fire golem, we reach some new friendly faces.
Lady Leda spoke of you, guided here by kindly Miquella, won't we all? I am Freya. I once fought alongside General Rellana. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own. Oh, another thing. Did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, have him give you a map of the cross's whereabouts. You'll find more of them dotted about these lands. They are Miquella the Kind's footprints.
Fine. Another. Treading the heels of Miquella. Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well aligned. If Miquella is who you would seek, then Comrade, allow me to give you this. These are the sites of the crosses I found. I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
Since we're already here, we might as well go talk to the other two NPCs right up the staircase.
I am Islar, formerly in service to Lord Mohg, but now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Miquella. I'm hardly the steady hand I once was. My fighting days are far behind me, which is why I have chosen to dedicate myself to investigation, to discern tender Miquella's ultimate purpose. I'd rather not volunteer service to a new master unless I know that I can be of use. May I request a service of you? 6 crosses, identical to this one, have been discovered in these lands. They are akin to tender Miquella's footprints, or gravestones, which mark what he's left behind. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Miquella is doing here.
Hello there. Together, we work. Together, for Miquella the Kind. Many things we have found. I like finding things. For you, Lady Leda, her allies, and the Forager Brute. Things bring joy to all.
After crossing a massive bridge with only one sentry defending it, we meet our final NPC.
Oh, hello there. Guided here by Miquella the Kind. My name is Teolia. I am tarnished, and here on kindly Mikkela's account. So, well, here's to new beginnings, I suppose. I'm sorry, but well, I'm not much good at anything is all. I'm as weak as a kitten and thick as two planks. I've always been this way, since the very day I was born. I'm afraid the only thing I'm proficient in is poison. Sorry.
Once we're done with all that, we go ahead, open the massive door, and come face to face with a scorpion mane. He tries to tell me to get over here, but we tell him no, he cannot pull me towards him without my consent. After we defeat Scorpion, we go ahead and deal with the Shirai Ryu. Once that's all done, we run through the town, and come face to face with a big boy. This guy reminds me of the Crucible Knight. Hopefully, he will be a worthy opponent, and our battle will be legendary. Unfortunately, it doesn't even last a minute. But that's alright, we already have another challenger coming right up. The Dancing Lion. On my first initial playthrough of the DLC, I absolutely missed the Dancing Lion fight. It didn't come back to it until much later on, when I had a lot more upgrades. With me wanting to test how well I could do against it with this build, I decided to take it on first. And even with my low upgrades, I still did very well against it. After getting a message from Letta and dealing with our pursuer, we read it. From what the note says, Letta thinks that Mikkela is stuck inside the tower covered in shadows. For us to get inside their freedom, we need to figure out a way to burn it all away. At the very end of the note, it says that she will be looking into some possible causes to make this happen. We then sneak inside of a castle and run our way all the way to the boss. Rellana is an interesting boss, and the first boss I fought inside the DLC of my first character. I absolutely love her design, and I absolutely love her two moves that she can shoot out at you. Despite me getting greedy with the waterfowl, this fight wasn't too much of an issue. We defeated her on our second attempt, but goddamn, she is such an amazing boss. After climbing a ladder and going across a bridge, this happens. We go back to Letta to figure out what has happened.
Hello. Did you feel it? Making a kind enchantment appears to have broken. But while my devotion to kindly Mikkela remains unchanged, by my troth I am not so sure about the others. No, wait. Perhaps this is a blessing in disguise. I can wield my sword to call the undeserving, those unfit to bask in tender Mikkela's presence. I should have thought of this earlier.
I tried convincing her that maybe that was not the best call. We could still use them as cannon fodder, and no need to actually go out of our way and kill them. But with a grin on her face, she kinda ignored me. Falling on deaf ears, my voice was. We did know Mikkela best. We are Maleina, after all. Our brother would never want this. Our brother would never want the people that he had following him kill each other. But yet, this is what this woman had in her mind. Maybe she was also broken from the spell. We then go talk to Exbird.
Kindly Mikkela has discarded his great rule. The fog that vexed my aging faculties has been lifted, and follies better left forgotten haunt me once again. Once, in an attempt to free Lord Mohg from his enchantment, I challenged tender Mikkela, only to have my own heart rather artfully stolen. I knew not how weak I was. I believed that with sufficient mastery, even an Empyrean would be within reach of my blade. I could not have been more mistaken. Mikkela the Kind is a monster, pure and radiant. He wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
With being told that this guy tried to strike down our brother, we get ready to strike him down. But we hold our blade, questioning, when did Mikola put Mohg underneath a spell? Did he do it after Mohg took him? Or was it because Mohg was under a spell that he took Mikola? These were answers I need to understand. So, in a brief moment of mercy, we spare him. As a side note, I will not be focusing on all these NPC questlines, but I will be focusing on Tebas and Examius. I'm definitely saying these names wrong, but I'm hoping you guys can understand which characters I'm talking about. We're gonna go back to Tebas' questline. Take a drink every time I get a name wrong. Actually, please don't do that. That'd be bad for your health.
Oh, are you not affected? Even with the spell broken, I'm feeling rather lost. Haunted by memories of St. Trina. Her visage, her scent, the lure of velvety sleep. Would kindly Mikola chasten me for falling for St. Trina, while knowing that she was the discarded half? The problem is, I simply cannot help it. I would sacrifice everything just to gaze upon her one last time.
Upon hearing what Mikola did to St. Trina, we were in complete disbelief, and in complete denial. There was no way Mikola would have just abandoned his other self, his love, especially after everything that she did. Especially everything she did for me, helping me fall asleep despite the scarlet rod trying to keep me awake. This was not Mikola. There is no way this was Mikola. Has everything I'd known about him be a lie? Regardless if Mikola wants St. Trina to be around or not, we still go try and find her, leading us to a patch of blue flowers. At the end of this, we see a row of purple flowers. We follow them into a giant hole in the ground, with a pathway leading all the way down to the bottom. It is there we find a cross of Mikola, confirming our worst fears, with the message saying that here I abandon my love. We take a moment, processing everything. If Mikola did this to himself, then what does it mean for him doing it for the people he cares about? Let alone, what about me? We shake it off, and we go try to find St. Trina. We can only assume that she is much further down. We continue the pathway down, falling off a giant edge and landing inside some murky water. There we summon Tebas, and we fight a boss. After defeating the boss, we finally reach St. Trina. After ingesting some of St. Trina's nectar, we get to hear her talk. I'm going to play it all in one thing, so that way you don't have to keep watching me die and respawn and do it all over again. I'm just going to play all the voice lines within one thing.
Mikola, stop. Don't turn the poor thing into a god. Godhood would be Mikola's prison. A caged divinity is beyond saving. You must kill Mikola. Grant him forgiveness.
As you saw while St. Trina was talking, we got invaded by our good bud, who was very jealous that St. Trina was talking to us instead of him. But of course, we are Maleina, Blade of Miquella, and we have never known defeat. But St. Trina's words still ring back in her ear. What Miquella has done, and that she wants us to kill him. But why? Wouldn't she die as well? We still cannot make up our mind what we want to do. But if worse comes to worse, we have an ally on our side. Even though I do not want to kill Miquella. He is my brother after all. And I am his blade. We continue on to Messmer and defeat a golden hippopotamus with our new questionable allies. After that, we spend more time than I want to admit looking for the secret right scroll, which we will give to Esmer.
It's been some time. After unburdening my soul to you, I had hoped to make a fresh start, but there was one thought I could not dislodge from my mind. So, here I am, quite unable to move on. After Lord Mohg's slain at his dynastic palace, it appears his body has been absconded with, and taken straight to kind Miquella. Surely you recall that I once served Lord Mohg as a pureblood knight, after failing him in every regard, and losing sight of my vows. I'd do anything to make amends, in whatever meager way I can. What could they possibly have in mind for Lord Mohg's remains? The implications are rather unnerving. Well, what's this? Yes, I should have known. Even the truth was itself mere folly. As if using Lord Mohg to gain entrance to the Land of Shadow were not enough, he plans to use his corpse as the vessel of his king consort. He has forsaken Lord Mohg's soul. He desires only his empty shell. It beggars belief, but I'm afraid Tender Miquella fails to grasp the humiliation implied by this act. One thing is certain. My dear lord deserved better. You have my gratitude. You have given me the answers I needed, but I can hardly fathom it. Such folly. Until the end. I am a warrior, but I've aged. I cannot afford to act hastily. Curse it all. I know my limits. I could spend the rest of my life honing my craft, and still that creature would be out of my blade's reach. The absolute folly of it all.
Taking a moment for ourselves, we go ahead and enter a room with a statue of our mother. We pray, even though our voice will not be heard. We reflect on everything that's just been told, from St. Trina to the afflictions of Mohg, to even our battle with Rellana. What could Miquella be planning? Would he abandon me when all this is over? We were unsure, unclear, and very confused. Let alone, we were worried for Miquella out of everything else. As if my prayers were answered, a secret passage opened up after we confessed everything. Following the pathway, we come across an abandoned village with a very small minor erdtree. After searching around the village, we see a hole inside of a tree with a silhouette of our mother. Either this is just a statue, or it could be a physical form of her in some way or another. We are completely unsure. But the mere sight of it causes us to collapse to our knees, to think if something like this could happen to Miquella, we would be devastated. To help calm our mind, we try to take on this guy. However, he makes me his personal bitch for 2 hours. Now, I could have tried doing some horse combat and everything like that, but honestly, I just dislike the horse combat in this game. I honestly do not like it. Torrent, you're a cool idea, just not implemented very well in my opinion. Finally getting back on track, we reach Messmer. As a side note, I had a very cool skit that I could have done for the cutscene. But for some odd reason, my dumbass in-game decided to skip the initial cutscene. I'm not sure if it was because I was annoyed with the 2-hour-long boss fight I just had, or if I just accidentally pushed a button. But honestly, I had a very interesting skit, and even though I'm still going to do it anyways, the video and stuff will not match up to basically what I'm saying. We enter a dark room. As we get near the center, the lights suddenly turn on, revealing a snake right in front of our face, with a distant voice saying, "The Lost Blade," searching for Miquella. As Messmer stands up, he says the following: "Here I thought you be much bigger, considering your incident with Kaled." He summons fire and brings it closer to his face, while saying, "Thou's rotten body will be incinerated by Messmer's flame." As you saw, Messmer was able to get us once. However, we return and push him into his second phase. Upon ripping out his own eye and crushing it, he reveals the serpent within him. Now honestly, Messmer's second phase is absolutely gorgeous to look at. Just seeing the seamless transition of him in his actual form and the serpent form within. It was a very nice battle, and we are able to defeat him. With Messmer defeated, we enter some ancient ruins and find the Saint of Buds. This thing looks like it would be me if I lost control of my Scarlet Rot. However, during our fight, it's able to get a hold of me and injected Scarlet Rot into me, causing mine to lose control at a rapid pace, causing us to bloom. However, we managed to stay in control, and we were able to defeat the Saint Buds. With the little time I have left, we go ahead and remove the shadow from the tower and make our way over to Miquella. However, Leda stops us, saying that we are not allowed to enter the tower due to our mixed emotions of our brother's actions. She would not allow this to happen, and that she will try her best to kill us with her squad. However, due to me getting some allies of my own, we are able to even the odds, and eventually overwhelm Leda until she was the last one. It was absolutely hilarious, because my first playthrough, I fucked up so bad where it was just me fighting all of this. But it does feel very nice seeing the tables turn. We finally reach the place where we're supposed to be. However, we can only hear Miquella, and who we do see in front of us is Rellana. How is this possible? You're supposed to be dead. Miquella reveals that he brought the body of Mohg here to implant Rellana's soul inside of it, making it where Rellana would fully commit to being with Miquella, to be his consort. After everything I've done, why was I not offered this position? Am I just not good enough? Without a moment to think, we get attacked by this consort Rellana. And even though he was able to get us once, we push through into his second phase. There, Miquella finally shows himself, coming out of a portal and revealing that he is now a god, and that we are no longer of use. He wishes there could be a different way, but with all the doubts that we have, it would be too much power for him to use up to put us underneath control. If any of you have gotten this far inside the DLC, then you could already tell that the other difficult boss was going to be this version of Rellana. This was an absolute pain. I died over and over and over again for quite a long time. To make this very brief on how much I got fucked inside this boss fight, imagine it kind of like this. I was the stepsister that was stuck inside the washing machine as this consort Rellana was coming over to clap my cheeks. That is how much I got fucked inside this boss fight. And a complete waste of 3 hours. And eventually I threw in the towel. And I summoned people. But even with that, my nightmares are now fueled with a message saying unable to summon cooperator. And after waiting an additional 20 minutes, trying to get people in, or going in and then somehow I die, we are able to get this one hero, this one saving grace. I guess you can call him my consort. With his name being I'll Do It Myself. With both of our combined efforts, we finally were able to defeat this boss. And of course, a day or two later after I defeated the boss, the Elden Ring update came out, increasing the amount of damage and the damage reduction you get from each one of these fragments. Thanks, Miyazaki. With Miquella now dead, we are unsure what our purpose is. We are unsure how much time we have left. And we are unsure what fate will have in store for me. However, there is one thing that we are sure of. I am Maleina, and I have never known defeat. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, please help it out by leaving a like, comment, subscribe. As usual, I'm going to be showing out the build I use for this video. And if you think I failed the challenge because I had to submit at the very end, you are free to do so. Anyways, thank you all for watching.